In the 21st century, the oceans are not just trade routes, but also arenas for power struggles. One of the biggest players now in the spotlight is China, with its fleet growing rapidly in a short time. From aircraft carriers to modern submarines, Beijing is building a force that has alarmed many nations. Is this simply military modernization or a new threat to global stability? This is the story of China's naval fleet. China once had a small and limited navy, primarily for coastal defense. However, since the early 2000s, Beijing has begun to shift its strategy. They recognize that as the world's largest trading nation, sea lanes are the lifeblood of its economy. Therefore, China is committed to building a modern navy that can protect its trade routes while simultaneously strengthening its territorial claims. This policy is not only about defense, but also demonstrates China's ambition to become a global maritime power on par with the United States. Over the past 2 decades, China's naval fleet has grown rapidly. They have built hundreds of warships, from destroyers and frigates to submarines and aircraft carriers. In fact, China now outnumbers the United States Navy in combat vessels, although it still lags behind in several technological aspects. This modernization involves long-range missile technology, advanced radar, and air defense systems, making its ships increasingly dangerous. This rapid growth raises a major question. Why is China building such a large naval force? One of the main reasons is the South China Sea. This region is rich in natural resources and serves as a vital global trade route. China claims almost the entire region through its 9-dash line, despite international law rejecting it. To strengthen its claim, Beijing has built military bases on artificial islands, complete with airstrips and defense systems. Its naval fleet regularly patrols, raising tensions with neighboring countries such as the Philippines, Vietnam, and Malaysia. This situation has made the South China Sea a flashpoint that could trigger regional conflict. The rise of China's naval fleet automatically challenges the United States' dominance in the Indo-Pacific region. For decades, the U.S. has been seen as the guardian of international maritime stability. However, with China's new fleet, that balance is beginning to shift. The two countries frequently patrol the same areas, even directly confronting each other in the South China Sea and Taiwan. The risk of miscalculation is growing, as any minor incident could trigger a major crisis. This is why the China-US maritime rivalry is seen as one of the most dangerous geopolitical issues today. Southeast Asian countries are directly impacted by the rise of China's naval fleet. The Philippines is increasing defense cooperation with the United States. Vietnam is strengthening its military by purchasing submarines from Russia. Japan and Australia are also concerned, leading to the formation of new alliances such as Quad, US, Japan, India, Australia, and AUKUS, US, UK, Australia. All of this is essentially a response to China's increasingly assertive naval power. Beijing's fleet is not only changing regional dynamics, but also forging new global alliances to balance its influence. The big question now is, where is China's naval power headed? If its goal is simply to protect trade, this modernization makes sense. But if its ambitions go further, to become a dominant maritime power, then the world must prepare for new tensions. China's naval fleet is a symbol of the country's global rise. For some, it's a sign of new glory. For others, it's a real threat to international stability. Whatever the outcome, one thing is certain. The oceans are now the main stage for 21st century competition. From a humble coastal base to a modern fleet, China has successfully transformed itself into a global maritime giant. However, this rise also brings uncertainty. Will China's navy maintain peace or become a new threat that will alter the global geopolitical landscape? Only time will tell.